Right now, there are over 1,800 banks in Germany and 230,000 expats. And while we love Germany as a country, when it comes to banking, they have horrible customer service. In fact, for many expat customers, German banks can be a horrible experience, not worth the effort, and better off avoided. They tend to have poor customer service, little English support, and they're nearly impossible to open remotely. That means opening a German bank account as an English speaker can be an incredibly daunting task. That's why in this video, we'll explore the best German banks for English speakers, some useful shortcuts to opening accounts, and the strategies that other expats are using to open accounts right now. And we'll also share what you should watch out for during the account opening process so you don't make mistakes. But before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get alerted every time we post new non-resident banking opportunities. To help you get started with banking in Germany, we have a free non-resident banking starter guide. It's designed to help non-resident and foreigners open bank accounts. So don't forget to download your copy using the link in the description below. Okay, so one of the most important things to know about banking in Germany as an expat is that N26 is a religion here. The only problem, N26 is suitable for small amounts and little online purchases. And it's plagued with freezes, compliance issues, and it's a horrible choice for large transactions. In fact, you should not keep a lot of money in your account, just in case. So, what do most foreigners in Germany do? Well, first, they open an N26 account and then they pair it with a traditional German bank account with English-speaking services. Now, if you're a digital nomad living outside of Germany, living on ramen noodles with 1,000 euros in savings, you might only need N26 and TransferWise to meet your needs. But that's not going to cut it when living in Germany. If you're living and working here, you actually need a German bank account to survive. Without one, you won't get very far. Here are a few of the basic activities you need a German bank account for: getting an apartment and paying rent, getting a SIM card and phone plan, obtaining internet services, paying your electricity bill, get various types of German insurance, and receive your salary from a German employer. Of course, these are all things you'll do after you have an account open. So now that we know why you need one, let's take a look at the challenges that English speakers face when opening accounts at German banks. First, it's important to remember that German banks were built to serve Germans, not foreigners, and rightfully so. But nonetheless, opening an account as a foreigner can be a challenge. And having a cash deposit, passport, and job offer is rarely enough to successfully open a German bank account. Instead, you'll need to put boots on the ground, jump through hoops, and acquire a few German documents in person before attempting to open an account. On top of that, not all German banks have English-speaking customer support. Their online banking and mobile banking apps don't always offer English language. And not all banks have online English support. On top of that, all of your bank's services, alerts, and paperwork will be in German. With little to no English support, it's impossible to get help when you need it most. When there's a problem with your account, the bank makes a mistake, overcharges you for something, or a time-sensitive issue arises. In such cases, your only option is to resolve issues by spending hours on the phone, physically going into the branch, or sending messages in broken German, if the bank even has online support at all. It's time-consuming, inefficient, and annoying. If you can't easily communicate with your German bank in English and struggle with German, here are a few of the problems that you can expect to face. No application forms in English. You miss important, time-sensitive alerts, notices, and requests from the bank. Small tasks like getting a replacement debit card or changing an address can take hours. No English-speaking support if your debit card gets stolen or your account gets hacked. Difficult to use German-only online banking and mobile apps. Every time you have a question, you have to call a hotline and talk to 3 to 5 different reps just to find a competent English speaker willing to help you. Fee structures are harder to decipher in German. If you get overcharged for something or the bank makes a mistake, you'll first have to track down an English speaker that can help you. If there's no online English support, you're stuck calling hotlines and physically going into branches to resolve basic issues. What does this all mean? If you're an English speaker, it means you need to choose your German bank very carefully. Nobody wants to run around Berlin looking for an English-speaking banker every time they have a basic banking problem. And that brings us to a big question. What if you didn't have to run around Berlin? What if you were able to open a German bank account from the comfort of your own home? Well, like everything about banking in Germany, if you don't speak fluent German and don't have the right documents, your options for remote account opening are going to be limited. That said, there are a few fintechs that allow remote opening and have full English platforms, but even they have limitations. If, however, you already have all your documents and you're already in Germany, there are a few German banks that will accept your application online. But most bank websites and applications are entirely in German. So if you have zero German skills, it's often safer and more efficient to just physically go into the branch. Okay, now that we've covered the basics, let's look at the best approach to banking for English speakers in Germany. First of all, the answer to where should English speakers bank is a bank with an English website, English-speaking customer support, mobile and online banking in English that doesn't charge ridiculous fees and has a reasonably easy account opening process. But, as mentioned at the outset, most expats will benefit from combining a number of German banking services. So let's take a look at an example of a basic setup that many expats use to achieve the best German banking experience with the English support that they need. It's a combination of a fintech, a traditional German bank account, and foreign bank account. Step 1. Open a fintech account. Use it as a backup account for emergencies and small purchases. It's best for when you first arrive in Germany and can't open a German bank account. Fintechs and digital banks can provide you with currencies, a debit card, and an IBAN so you can cover basic expenses. Step 2. Open a traditional German bank account. Use when required to support your life in Germany or when it's cost effective. For expats living in Germany, a German bank account is critical and required in order to register your address, rent an apartment, get a phone plan, internet services, insurance, etc. If you don't plan on living in Germany, then you may want to skip that step. Step 3. Open a foreign bank account. Use this for everything else. Whether your life requires you to pay international expenses, make purchases overseas, or simply diversify some of your cash away from the euro, having an international bank account just makes sense. This is especially true if you're relying on banks in a single country or in a country where you don't speak the local language. So, are you ready to find the best German bank for English speakers? Or do you want to explore what other European banking options are available to you? If so, we can help. All you have to do is join our flagship service, GlobalBanks Insider. With GlobalBanks Insider, you'll get instant access to our entire archive of banking intelligence reports, access to the GlobalBanks database, home to more than 250 banks from 50 plus countries, including detailed bank profiles, client preferences, and a lot more. Finally, you'll also get real-time analyst support from our team of experts, ready to answer your most pressing banking questions and to make suggestions on which banks in Germany and elsewhere will best meet your objectives. To get started, just click the link in the description below to learn more about GlobalBanks Insider. And before signing off, don't forget to hit subscribe so you get alerted every time we share new banking opportunities. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.